Crypto DLT with Mr. Conectr. Be sure to subscribe. Hit the notification bell for daily content. Let's go.
It's Mr. Conectr. What's up, everybody? Let's go.
On Friday, the Department of Justice served the Federal Reserve with grand jury subpoenas, threatening a criminal indictment related to my testimony before the Senate Banking Committee.
What's up, everybody? It's Mr. Conectr. Let's go ahead and do another crypto stream for the day. Monday, January 12th. It is Crypto Week on Capitol Hill. Yeah, Jerome Powell got his subpoena from the Department of Justice. What's going on with that? Oh, I don't know, but they say gold shall destroy the Fed. And what do we want to see gold on, guys? We want to see it on crypto rails. Check out Meld.
This is more than just a technology trend.
Meld Gold.
It's a revolutionary step towards the future where access to assets is democratized and where traditionally illiquid assets can become liquid. So to kick it off, Michael, in what ways does tokenization enable innovative use cases in commodities and particularly in gold?
Yeah, thanks, Jazz. So, there's two components with how we see innovation in RWAs, and in particular the RWAs we focus on, which is physical. Once you digitize an asset and you actually bring it on chain, it really unlocks a whole range of utility, which is one of the core value propositions we heard it talked about in several of the talks.
You got that right, guys. A whole new range of utility, gold on chain, running at the speed of light, guys.
Today. So once we actually get it on chain, we simplify the process of identifying who owns it. We simplify the process of authenticating the product, and that really opens up a huge amount of functions. So in reality, the key value proposition is how can we use gold in place of things like fiat, how we would traditionally have used it in Web 2. So that is really the key value proposition. How can we use gold to borrow? How can we use
Web 2 going into Web 3? The only problem with that is the custody. You got to trust the custody, so you got to have the audits. You got to have it done just right, and that's what everything's looking like they're working on, guys, is the custody. The gold's real money. So, yes, of course, I'm going to be promoting gold as a backing for currency and hard assets. What's up, IBD Cartel, first in the chat. Good to see you, buddy, as always. And Nathan Stevens, what's up? Good afternoon to you as well. Yeah, just a random stream here, just kind of jumping on, and we're going to go over what's going on today. I haven't even looked into much yet. I have a few bookmarks to go over. Let's take a quick look at the Conectr coins, look at the prices right quick, and we'll move right on. Evernode's the top one on my list for today, up 8% on the 24-hour. COREUM coming in second. Veritasium, XPS Sirius Chain, and Loan Protocol are the top ones on my list. What else is popping off? Top crypto gainers and losers today. IP Story is back up again. That is an American crypto as well. And Monero is up 20%. Privacy. What about all the other privacy tokens? Well, here they are. Past 24 hours, what's up the most? Enigma, ENX, is the top privacy token, up 46%. Wow, ranked 1,038th, and Z Classic and Maria is up as well. ZKML 30%. Wow, told you guys the other day, privacy. That's what we've been looking at. And look, yes, we've got some good gains on some of these. Look at Midnight down there. For anybody that got that airdrop, down 13% on the 7-day and running flat right now. What else is going on? Top made in America cryptos, 32% on Frax. Is this, let me refresh to make sure that one's up the most. No, we've got again Story IP and this DogeGov.com coin. What is up with this? The second day we've seen this covering the Department of Government Efficiency. That's not Dogecoin, guys. This is 724th Department of Government Efficiency, Doge.gov at 2 cents, 43% up on the 24-hour. Let's take a quick look at this. We saw it the other day, but it does have an Ethereum contract address. Let's look at the website. Look at Elon. You know, this could just be a meme coin. I don't know. The Department of Government Efficiency meme. Yeah, it is a meme coin. So, you know, meme coin, they are what they are. I would consider it more of a tribute coin, you know, paying tribute to the Department of Government Efficiency. But yeah, memes go up as well. And we saw from President Trump's meme coin that memes are good to go. You know, as soon as the Trump coin dropped, and it's like nothing's wrong with memes, so everybody's dropping their own meme coin, I guess now. I haven't even thought about that, but we're going to keep going. What else is on the list? Let's take a quick look at the calendar of events for today to make sure we don't miss anything. Monday, the 12th of January already, guys. We've got crypto market. They're going to, what do they call it? Marking it up. So they're going to mark up the bill Thursday, I believe, in the Senate. I need to check in on all that, on the progress of the Clarity Act this week. And we'll keep you posted. Let's see if there's any projects that we're into. Not really. I do like Optimism, token buyback for Optimism. Cool. Let's keep it going. We saw the privacy coins, cryptocurrency sectors, top gainers and losers. What are the top sectors? Binance Build Key, Barachain with Dolomite. Oh yeah, Dolomite, 63% for Dolo. And DeSci, Decentralized Science with Alchemist AI. That's interesting. I love science, and we love to decentralize it. That way we get true science and not political science, right? Cool. All right, let's take a quick look at our ETF tracker for XRP. Hope you guys are doing good out there today. ETF terminal, right quick. A little pullback. Let's look at spot. And I guess Franklin Templeton's still leading the way for those ETF. 24-hour volume, almost $10 million in volume for Franklin Templeton. 7.3 for your Bitwise. All right, cool. Let's keep it going. I do like to take a look at loan markets. We've got $56 million locked up in loan. And of that, you've got 700. Wait a minute. We've got deposits. We've got $22 million worth of XRP that's been deposited into this system. And they're only earning 0.26%. But I really love this ecosystem. So hopefully that goes up one day once we have more borrowers, right? Right now, you get paid to borrow money. What's that? You ever heard of that? Getting paid to borrow money? Yes, in the loan ecosystem, they will pay you 4% to borrow, not just to lend. More to borrow than to deposit. It's pretty wild, but that's to keep that ecosystem attractive and safe. These low numbers. When you see a high number, be worried. You know, when you see a high yield number, look into it. Where exactly are they getting those yields? I do like Flare a lot, and I haven't delved into that, you know, actually doing it yet. I'm waiting on, I guess, the Zaman wallet integration, where you can never have to leave the Zaman wallet for your Flare. So you've got almost $4 million locked up in total DeFi and Flare. Let's see if it separates it to see how much, like individual, like FXRP. I haven't even looked at this much. Kinetic. Okay, you got a bunch of different ones that are. Look at all of these. Flare, Bank, Steer Protocol, Pangolin. All of these, it looks like, are ways to connect to the Flare system, I assume. Cool. What's up, Martin? How you doing, buddy? Cool. Let's keep it going. Let's look at our total crypto market cap for today, $3.08 trillion. I remember when it was below 1 trillion, and it just seems like it's taking forever to get here. 3.08. Okay, cool. Let's keep going and look at the dominance right quick. 59% on your Bitcoin dominance. So that, for those that don't know, newbies or whatever, 60% dominance, it means that 40% of all crypto is altcoins and 60% is Bitcoin. So we are waiting on the flipping because, that's no utility. And this stuff hasn't been used yet, really, in action. We haven't seen utility coins in complete action yet. Look at gold, all-time high this morning, I believe, $4,610. Congratulations to those holding gold, and silver's at $85. Let's go silver. Look at there. All right, cool. What else do we have? We can look at our community. See if there's any CoinMarketCap articles. Bitcoin futures open interest hits 2022 levels. A DeFi platform, Venus Protocol, halted after a $27 million hack. What to know? Venus Protocol halts operations following a $27 million exploit through a phishing attack. Be careful out there. And that reminds me, I wanted to just show you, for those who don't know, you should know this by now, but like my main holding is XRP, and I really like the Zaman wallet, but okay, that's not it. Just to announce, warning, there is no Zaman desktop wallet. These are scams, guys. Zaman wallet is an app only. So if you've heard me mention Zaman wallet, there is no desktop wallet. Just wanted to throw that out there while we're on it. And what else did I have from Vitse Vin with the XRP Labs? I always thought that was cool how, he's got his own ecosystem and it's separate than Ripple. And they're both using the same decentralized ledger. What is he talking about here? Kind words. Okay, here's APY for XRP. Here we go. Hot or cold? Let's see. Ultimate security for XRP, the Zaman wallet. Since day one, safest option for self-custody. If you want to take it further, pair it with the optional cold wallet using Zaman cards. Managing XRP has never been safer. And okay. And Mooning says use both hot and cold wallet. Unless a new staking product goes live on Zaman with the juicy APY, then all my funds will go to work in Zaman. Do it, Vitse. I only trust Zaman. But okay, he's asking about the APY. Okay, and Vitse replied just the other day, thanks for the kind words. Here we go. XRP APY will be starting around 8%. That's killer, guys. 8% for your XRP. Take your holdings now and multiply it by 0.08, and that's how much you would get in rewards if you lock it up on this integration with Flare smart wallets with Zaman custodial straight from Zaman. That's pretty wild. 8%. That's good. That's real good. I mean, the average return for broker investments is they shoot for 4%. So 8 is good for me. Cool. We were looking at these articles. World Liberty launches web app for crypto lending.
Hi there, Conectr.
Hey, can you give me a summary of this page, please?
Absolutely. Let's dive right in. So the gist of this article is that World Liberty has just rolled out a new web app specifically for crypto lending. The headline event here is that they're introducing something called USD1 lending, and there's a big focus on the fact that this stablecoin supply is nearing $3.5 billion. They're expecting this to open up a lot more financial opportunities for users. In other words, it's a pretty big move in the crypto space, and it could mean a lot of interesting shifts in the market. So what's catching your eye about this?
Yeah, DeFi lending for the web app for World Liberty Financial. Lending and borrowing. Love it. You know, that was the big thing. That's the whole point of why they started this thing, is because they were debanked like a lot of others. And yes, now they're offering stablecoin lending and borrowing. The future is here. That's it, guys. Lending and borrowing on chain. Love it. Any more? Tether freezes 182 million in USDT with Tron with the DOJ aid. That's wild how they're able to freeze all that. Of course, I guess, you know, USDT is just a issued asset on like Tron, on Ethereum, and many more. So that's centralized controls. That means the DOJ can halt it with the, you know, just by contacting the issuer and threatening the issuer. What's up, Lizard King? Just going over a few articles today, catching up on the news. Played a little bit of Jerome Powell about him being charged by the DOJ for, I guess, lying under oath or something during his whatever about hearing about the spending at the Federal Reserve. It's wild. Lizard says, what's up, Angus? Happy Monday to you as well. Staking should be the same rate as credit card, says Lizard King. Yeah, staking should be the same. Yeah, make it all the same. Why not? Keep up with credit cards. Of course, hearing rumors that Trump is capping interest, I think February 1st at 10% on credit cards. So that is huge, actually. They don't need to have all that profit just, you know, lending money. It used to be illegal to lend money with interest, you know? Where has it gone? Where has all this money gone? All right, cool. Acquire stablecoin provider DTR as stock surges 10%. Digital asset infrastructure company Bakkt Holdings is acquiring stablecoin payment provider Distributed Technology Research, all in an all stock transaction. I mean, how else do you acquire companies? You get their stock, right? Appreciate that, Angus. Smash those likes. Appreciate the likes, guys. All right, cool. Dramatic showdown. Trump's latest clash with the Supreme Court. Is this about the tariffs? I can't believe that a judge is trying to make Trump return tariff money. That's insane, guys. They want the country to fall if they're doing something like that. All right, cool. Let me clean up my timeline here. Here's about the credit card companies from Roger Guru. Just in, Trump says credit card companies will be in violation of the law if they charge over 10% interest rates after January 20th. So only another, week for that? Wow. 10%. Good. I like that. We got the debt clock posting here. Eliminate the middleman. The Fed cartel, Ponzi scheme. Let the golden age begin from the USDebtClock.org. I love that. It's going to be a wild day, guys, when we finally get our level playing field and this stuff just kind of goes out into the world and is common. You know, it's commonly used. It's going to be wild living in a world where you're not worried about being scammed all the time. But we cannot give up our sovereignty, our freedoms. We have to stick to that SSI, self-sovereign ID, instead of the digital ID, where we control who gets what information. Let the government attest to who we are, but don't let it control who we are, right? How about crypto panic? Monero smashes a new all-time high as privacy trades break away. Shiba Inu whale transactions up 111%, but SHIB can't escape this. Abercrombie sales fall 18% over holiday sales. Stablecoin usage on Revolut is growing exponentially. You're good, Angus. Yeah, I just found it 10% on January 20th. Crypto firm BitGo targets nearly $2 billion valuation in U.S. IPO filing. BitGo going public. We saw where Ripple is not going public. You know, what's the point? What's up, Fishing with Camo Joe? Yeah, Ripple's going to be private. They don't need to go public. Going public means you're beholden to another company's rules. You know, ICE or the stock exchange, they're a private, self-governing entity. So, yeah, make your own rules. Stay private. Especially with you can put your shares on the blockchain now, issue them directly. Legacy DeFi platform loses $27 million. We just saw that. That was, what was that? An ongoing hack spree targeting legacy DeFi projects has claimed a further $27 million with TrueBit and FutureSwap, the latest victims. Wow. XRP and Solana are pulling in capital while Bitcoin bleeds. That's all right with me. Apple taps Google's Gemini to power AI models after Apple Intelligence stumbles. IBD says for all the banks to short their stock out. I wouldn't be surprised if they short their own stock. Yeah, to drive it down. Angus says U.S. Treasury is private. Fed is private. Yeah, I mean, I know the Fed's private, and I wouldn't doubt that the Treasury's private when the whole country is a corporation. Yeah, it's crazy. Taiwan near a trade deal to cut tariffs to 15%. Just looking through these headlines, guys. We'll get on to the bookmarks on X in just a minute. Tether freezes. We saw that across 5 Tron wallets, $182 million. Coinbase stock, their coin stock falls 5-year low. Dang, Coin's been out for 5 years now. They went public 5 years ago. Coinbase? That's crazy. Time flies. All right, what else happened over the weekend? Let's see. U.S. Senate Banking Committee will mark up the Digital Asset Market Clarity Act, H.R. 3633. Wow. Imagine that, 3s and 6s in that number there. On January 15th, what is that, Thursday, they will mark it up. So what does mark up mean? I guess the Senate, they're just bringing it out of committee to the floor, I guess, to discuss it. I think that's what markup means. You know, that's not a vote. We've got lots of people saying it's going to take a while still. Sorry to bring some bad news. But on that, you know, there's a lot of negativity on the clarity. We'll see about the stablecoin rewards to see if that sticks. You know, Coinbase threatens to withdraw support for Clarity Act if it restricts stablecoin rewards beyond disclosure requirements. So Coinbase wants their rewards. I mean, yeah, why can't Coinbase compete with banks? If they don't get that, they can't compete. And we don't get the level playing field, right? We saw this from Mr. Bitcoin. Trump announces he'll grant clemency to the Samurai wallet builders. These developers created software designed to protect Bitcoin privacy, and he paid the price for it. What is this, like a Mixer wallet? I didn't even hear about Samurai wallet. What happens next could define the fate of financial freedom.
Mr. President, this week a man named Keone Rodriguez is going to federal prison for creating crypto privacy software. The case was started under the Biden administration, but your DOJ kept it going and secured the conviction. A lot of people in crypto are saying that this man should be pardoned. Are you familiar with the case at all, or would you be interested
I've
in
heard
looking
about
at
it. I'll look at it. Why, you think he should be pardoned? Sounds like it. Sounds like, based on your question.
Many people in the
Rodriguez, we'll look at that, Bam. Okay, let's take a look at it. You know, you'll have to tell me. I don't know anything about it, but we'll take a look.
So it sounds like he's open to pardoning Rodriguez. From that statement, didn't know about it, but it sounded like it. You know, he was targeted by the last administration. Lizard says markup is revisions, making changes. Okay, yeah, they're still working on it. That's what markup means. Cool. Appreciate that, Lizard, as always. Yeah, it's a community, guys. So if I say anything wrong, yeah, don't feel free to correct me. I don't get offended at anything anymore. You know, I've come to a stage in my life where nothing really upsets me. You know, I just try to let things roll off. Even like politics and stuff. I got deep into that stuff for a while and just like, how can this world be like this? But you know, it seems like it's all fake just to get an emotion out of us sometimes. So I kind of just chilling out here lately and easy come, easy go, loving the world that God gave us so far. Come on, let's go. We've got Enemix saying, boom, BlackRock is now using Ripple's RLUSD as collateral. Bullish for XRP, who's ready? BlackRock uses RLUSD stablecoin as collateral as Ripple pushes institutional adoption. This hits on what I was saying about XRP being master collateral. Well, you've got stable coins as well. So that's going to be the base collateral, or the issued collateral that they trust, the dollar. But that XRP, that is a sovereign. It is not controlled by any entity. That's the biggest attraction about it. It's a sovereign collateral where there's no liabilities. I mean, yeah, what's the liability for XRP? It's decentralized. They can't block it. They can't recall it or claw back it. It's got no rulers. It's got no kings. That's the biggest difference in the stablecoin versus XRP. Cool. Let's keep going. We've got Bank XRP. Ripple just dropped a letter to the SEC, a new letter. This was on the 9th. What was that, Friday? Pushing hard for clear rights-based crypto regulations to take away, ditch the vague decentralization tests. Yeah, that's a made-up concept there, decentralization test from the SEC. And they should focus on enforceable legal promises and obligations, not just efforts of others. Yeah. Conflict says, what it do, crypto fan? What's up, Conflict? At work jackhammering, but still listening. Man, I don't know how you can listen with a jackhammer going. Oh, wow. I remember I used to bust open some foundations to run my electrical pipe in. I roughed in an entire schoolhouse by myself with the pipes one time. But, I didn't get to run the wire. I just did the rough in, bending pipe, putting together elbows and all that stuff. But I would have to jackhammer out the concrete to get my pipes in there. But man, My arms feel like they're shaking all day long after running that jackhammer. I don't know how y'all do that, but good on you. Make that money while you can. We got some more suggestions from Ripple. Secondary market trades is not securities once promises end. Secondary market trades does not equal securities once the promise ends. So I guess a promise of return, that would make it a security. Yeah. Like a dividend, you got to secure something. Privity in primary sales matters. Break it in mature markets, and it aligns with Atkins' views. Obligations expire. Yeah, they're kind of getting this figured out, aren't they? Ripple's giving good suggestions here. This was Ripple leading the charge for sensible rules that separate the asset from the original contract. Yeah, it's pretty sad. You got to explain what this stuff is to the SEC and how they should leave it alone, basically. We do have a meeting today. You guys into Metallicus? Let's see. Metallicus is going to be in a space today with Representative Congressman Buddy Carter on the right there from Georgia. Don't sleep on Metallicus. They have the credit unions locked down with the NCUA, the National Credit Union Association. And let's keep it going. What is Hoskinson mad about? He just seems like he was left out of the party, doesn't he? He says, I don't think Clarity Act will pass this quarter. If it does, David Sachs should resign. Let's see what he says. On the Angry Crypto Show. If it'll play.
But here's the reality of the situation. I don't think the Clarity Act is going to pass in this quarter, and because it's an election year. We only have one left window, and if the Democrats retake the House, we will not have another opportunity till 2029.
Damn.
If it doesn't pass this quarter, I think Sachs should resign. He's utterly failed us as an industry. We look at three lenses. The price going up? No. Adoption going up? No. Do we have clarity and certainty, and do we have a strong foundation to build on? No. So if you're the czar and you're in charge of this whole thing, I got to judge you by your track record. Most cryptos are down 40 to 50% since Trump took office. But
wow. All right. We shall see if they get this clarity through. I'm going to reset everything. I have to cut the volume up a little bit on some of these clips. Try to keep it all even and the volume even. There's nothing I can't stand more than riding down the road and listening to a YouTube video or whatever and can't hear the vocals, but you can hear the video and vice versa. Try to keep it all leveled out. Cool. Let's keep it going. What else do we have? Cointelegraph. Yeah, we saw that. Coinbase threatens to withdraw. And, BNY Mellon expands digital cash capabilities by enabling on-chain mirrored representation of client deposit balances on its digital asset platform. On-chain and mirrored. So they've got a ledger running, it looks like. I assume it's either issued or they said they're with Ripple. I assume it's probably a side chain. If they're just using it to mirror their transactions, this launch helps advance BNY Mellon's ambition to support programmable on-chain cash for the institutional market infrastructure in collaboration early participants. We continue to connect the traditional and digital financial ecosystems to help our clients unlock new capabilities. So all their centralized transactions are triggering a ledger transaction, like it's mirroring it. So they've got an internal system somewhere that's combining these two things, centralized, whatever they're typing in on their private ledgers with some kind of a ledger with Ripple's help, it looks like. I've always said on the channel that there was a use case for one ledger looking at another ledger. Like, I've always thought that, I might be wrong about this, but some of these centralized exchanges are running their own ledger with their own, all the coins running on their own ledger, look-alike. They're digital representations of the customers' coins. Like, if I was going to do it, and to reduce liability, I would have it coming out of a different pot, and be running in parallel, like it'd be an identical ledger, not the real one that the customers use. I don't know how to explain that better, but yeah, mirrored ledgers. Scammers got to be scammed. Yeah, mirrored ledgers. That's interesting though, because if it's a side chain ledger that's mirroring their centralized day-to-day transactions. I mean, why are they using a side chain to do that? What's the point? Well, the point is to eventually move everything over onto that ledger and have it do the real transactions, and then settle with that new amendment on the XRP ledger, the sidechain amendment, settle back onto the public chain whenever they need to. It's going to be a lot to figure out, but we're getting it, guys. We've got also some rewards set for RealFi. What is RealFi? At RealFi Team, payment reward solution. Payment rewards using the Real token. RealFi Global Payment Rewards set to launch tonight. This was last night at midnight. The countdown has officially began. The reward solution will launch globally, enabling users and institutions to submit receipts for purchases made with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP to earn rewards and cash back. Okay, this is like a payment deal. Payment card with rewards. This milestone introduces a scalable rewards layer for blockchain-based payments designed to support both institutional and consumer adoption worldwide. The Real token. Sorry about that. Someone else trying to get in the game. That's all I see with this. Different entities getting in this space. And we saw this, just covered this, world's largest custodial bank, BNY, launches tokenized deposits. So yeah, that's the whole point, is to eventually use it instead of just mirroring. All right, I have a timeline cleanser for us here, guys. Let's step out of crypto and step back into the 80s for just a second. '90s. All those vintage sounds we used to hear back in the day. That'll bring you back some memories right there, all these things. All right, cool. There we go. Oh, yeah. That's a good timeline cleanser. Cool. Let's keep it going, guys. Don't want to distract you too long. X Finance Bull says the boldest XRP moves are happening this year. If you missed Ripple's boldest move, here it is. Last year, they acquired 4 legacy financial companies. This year, they're integrating them directly into Ripple's products with XRP Ledger. Trillions will flow, and it's about to change everything, says ex-finance bull. Institutional money won't trickle in. It'll be wired in. This is how XRP becomes infrastructure. And we've got Monica Long here.
Yes, we were very pleased with the fundraise in Q4. And you'd also mentioned, 2025 was a big year for Ripple for both our organic growth and then also inorganic. So we had acquired 4 companies last year with the fundraise as well. We are now focused on integrating those businesses and continuing to. Yes, we were very.
Buying the right businesses and continuing to grow. They're making moves. 2 good accounts, Cypress Domanicore and the Aquaman 44. 2 good guys. Make sure you follow them. But Cypress is saying here, does this deserve a boom? Banks waiting is no longer a strategy. This is directly from Intellect EU.
Now, what I find interesting is the article in which they posted is actually very interesting. And this is one of those articles that will never reach the mainstream masses. Right here, it mentions the compliant ledger technologies like Canton Network and how they're here to demonstrate disintermediation is coming amongst financial institutions. But down here is where it gets really interesting. It says, and this is again a major announcement, so turn this up. It says, the institutional adoption of distributed ledger technology by organizations like SWIFT and the DTCC, whom and which just recently partnered with Canton Network, shows that the time for cautious experimentation has ended. The next phase of financial evolution will be about operational integration, bringing tokenized assets on-chain settlement and programmable finance into the core of banking infrastructure. However, time is a critical factor. The institutions already investing in production-grade blockchain infrastructure are building the foundations for future market success.
The time for experimenting is over, and the institutions building are already positioning. So don't get left behind.
Those who delay risk finding themselves on the outside of a new financial paradigm, forced to integrate on terms set by others. But for banks, the message could not be clearer.
That means you've got some that are already positioned that are trying to set the standards, and they're going to have to play in their sandbox, right?
Waiting is no longer a strategy. I repeat, waiting is no longer a strategy. That is a huge confirmation that we are in the right place, ladies and gentlemen.
We are. And this tokenization, guys, is about to take off. Everything's going to be tokenized. When you go buy something new, technically, instead of a receipt, you should get a tokenized version. You should get to go along with it, Bring your wallet address with you, just like car titles. Bring your wallet address with you to the dealership. The dealership should be able to transfer that title to you without even going to the DMV, right? That's just another middleman. Of course, the state's got to get it where they can get it, but maybe it'll be baked in somehow to the transaction. But yeah, anything you buy, if you go, buy a set of luggage or whatever, you should get a digital representation of it in your wallet. And if it's a valuable whatever, you want to resell it, well, you transfer that digital representation along with the real world item to the new buyer. And if you don't have that original receipt or digital twin representation, then that physical item is going to be worth less. That's how all of it goes. Just like a car without a title, if you can't get a title on it and there's no way to get a lien or anything on it, it's going to be worthless. It's going to be used for parts. Can't use it to its full capability. Or it won't have its resale value, like that luggage. If you buy used luggage, I don't know why I came with the example of luggage, but if you buy used luggage and you don't get that digital twin along with it, well, it's not going to be worth as much to resell it if it's resellable, in the future. That's going to be a wild world, though, when everything has a digital twin.
If they're telling banks and financial institutions that waiting is no longer a strategy, then for us as retail investors, what do you think, again, we should mirror? We know right now that we have front-ran financial institutions that are pretty much sidelined because of the lack of regulatory clarity in this space. Well, imagine what this space truly looks like in the coming months ahead as regulations materialize. It continues to say the tools, regulatory frameworks, and trusted partners now exist to bring DLT and stablecoins into the heart of banking operations.
Yeah, or to be considered stolen property if you don't have that digital twin. Exactly, IBD.
Those who act will shape the standards and reap the rewards.
That's what we want, guys. Reaping the rewards because we back the right projects that are shaping the standards. He just nailed it. What I said just a second ago about the standards. It's all about the standards, about the rails. And speaking of that, Brad Gernhaus from Ripple posted the other day, happy belated New Year. Let me do a little auto read on this. What's up, my corn the cob? My corny the cob. Like that name.
Happy belated New Year. I just hit send on Ripple's quarterly shareholder email. To say that 2025 and Q4 were successful for Ripple feels like saying that Tom Brady was just a great quarterback. Hashtag the GOAT. Our two major acquisitions, Ripple Prime and G Treasury, greatly accelerate and expand our ability to deliver on our vision, enabling the Internet of Value. XRP has been, and will continue to be, the heartbeat of that vision. With truly...
I like how Brad reaffirms that XRP is the heartbeat of it. You know, that's good on him for doing that throughout these years, that it all revolves around XRP, because there's been so much FUD we've been living through with that. You got to have that sovereign coin,
truly
guys.
The most comprehensive licensing portfolio, and now today UK's EMI license added.
Oh, that's right. They got the EMI license in the UK.
Added, we are poised to make 2026 even more consequential. Building and using crypto infrastructure, updating our global financial plumbing, and rethinking legacy systems. None of this happens overnight. At Ripple, we're going to continue taking the long view of what crypto-based assets, like XRP and Rust, can do, rather than chasing cycles and hype. Bring on 2026. We are firing on all cylinders. It's happening.
That is bullish. RLUSD and XRP working together. They have to have one another. What's the news on capital gains, guys, for tax for home sales? You know, they asked Trump about what he's going to do to, you know, lower the prices for homes, make it affordable again. And I was a little discouraged because first thing he said was, you know, people have to get, people have to be able to buy homes, but he's worried about people that already own homes keeping their values. So one thing he's doing is supposedly he's putting in measures to limit hedge funds and big, like Blackstone from buying single family homes. And also looks like capital gains tax he's trying to get rid of as well on home sales. That'd be good.
What do you think about this new?
We got some fun in the chat. Amsterdam created. What's up, man? XRP lunatics. Yeah, we're a lunatic, and yes, we are ISO idiots. We are. Yes, correct.
Bill, that's going to basically
go ahead and stick with that, and I'm gonna go ahead and reaffirm you on that.
basically eliminate no capital gains tax on home sales to be able to free up the money. People who've owned a house for a long time can't afford to pay the capital gains.
Yeah, well, we're looking at that, and it could be a very big positive. I don't think for you, because you make so much money. It doesn't matter. But I think it's going to be a great incentive for a lot of people that really need money.
So between that and
so that would help both sides out. Basically, is what I'm getting to. The sellers have a discount on or no capital gains tax to pay, and the buyers is going to be cheaper on the buyers because the sellers don't have to cover the capital gains tax.
Powell stepping down, that could really boost home sales.
Well, I think if Jerome Powell stepped down, it would be a great thing. I don't know that he's going to, but he should.
Everything's playing out, isn't it, guys? It's just taking forever, guys. Hang on. And hold on. John Deaton's talking about the banking lobby is terrified of competition, hence they're pressuring senators to kill stablecoin yield rewards. From the creation of the Federal Reserve in 1913, when they took control of the currency, to the latest power grab, the banking industry and its lobby have proven to be one of the constant threats to American prosperity and financial freedom. They don't want you to have options. They want you dependent. It's time to stop protecting too big to fail institutions and start protecting regular people. That's right. Let's get it going, John. Appreciate that. I think he's running for another office. I can't remember. I guess it's in Massachusetts again, but he is for the people for sure. Lizard King. Yeah, we're all in a cult. Yeah. The ISO cult, I guess. Nick Sorter says breaking President Trump is calling for credit card interest rates to be capped at 10%. Yeah, we saw this, but I didn't see the post. Here's the actual post. Please be informed that we will no longer let the American public be ripped off by credit card companies that are charging interest rates of 20 to 30% and even more, which festered unimpeded during the sleepy Joe Biden administration. Affordability, effective January 20th. I, as President of the United States, am calling for a one-year cap on credit card interest rates of 10%. Coincidentally, the January 20th date will coincide with the one-year anniversary of the historic and very successful Trump administration. Yep. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great again. Yeah. And it looks like make America great again. It looks like that means all of them Americas, from everything we've seen here lately, from Venezuela to Colombia to Greenland. Trump wants to make all of America great again. So we'll take that as well. And this is huge to limit credit cards. It's only a one-year cap. But hopefully they can codify a lot of this stuff. We shall see. I guess you got to keep the midterms going the right way. I don't know. There's a big split in the red party. We shall see. Though I don't play party lines at all. We look at everything and try to put we need the common sense party is what we need. All right, cool. Lizard says Americans have been ripped off left and right. Everywhere you look is more fraud. Yeah, it's all fake and gay. Everything you look at, fraud. It's all a way to rip us off, and everybody's on the take, it seems like. Cypress again says they mentioned this on stage a few months ago and said it would take 12 to 24 months. And now we're fast forwarding to a couple of days ago. Things are moving fast with Canton. Lloyd's Banking Group says SHX and Canton partner for globally pioneered transaction, successfully completing the first gilt purchase using tokenized deposits. Canton and SHX.
To you about what's happening right now.
Yeah, very much so. And this is a common problem for us all, actually, mobilizing collateral. And we sort of rewind a few years back to September 22, that was a problem very close to London's heart. We had some of the old-fashioned rails got a bit gunked up, shall we say. And you've all just mentioned sort of that collateral mobility point. And I think, I'll mention now, actually, there's a consultation was issued by the Bank of England about increasing the resilience of the gilt repo market here in the UK back on the 4th of September. I think all of you in this room know the answer to that consultation paper. It is exactly what Yuval just described. We need to create digital instruments working alongside digital transactions, working alongside digital netting agreements.
Conflict says, I hope this isn't the Me Too movement. No, we're not the Me Too movement.
So that we
I forgot about that. That sure went away quick, didn't it?
Start to automate those workflows. Because that consultation talks a lot about how we should think about the trade-offs between central clearing and the concentration of risk, but the level of automation that you can get in that process. But that's a lot of counterparty credit risk being concentrated in one place. it's quite useful and helpful to create the diversification of a bilateral ecosystem, but with some of the benefits of clearing. So the gilt repo market's a £1 trillion repo market, backed by £2.6 trillion of UK sovereign debt. These are big numbers, big amounts of collateral moving around. And if we can automate that, then we can have the benefit of bilateral diversified counterparty risk combined with automated margining.
You best believe they're going to get risk right. Lloyd's from London is no different on that. And cool, we've got to check in on our bookmarks still, going through the saved bookmarks here. Vitae also showed one of the first FXRP on Zaman for those that are interested in that. And I just hadn't delved into it yet, but that's cool to see that trust line there for FXRP. Smart account is what it's called. So I guess that's what it means. Never have to leave the Zaman wallet, but you will have to transfer XRP into FXRP. Oh, he said he was in a cult, so I said me too. Yeah, I get it. And Real World Asset Watch says another green light. The SEC has allowed the DTC to proceed with tokenizing stocks, ETFs, and treasuries on the blockchain. The defining moment for real world assets. Yeah, they did say they're using the Canton, and there will be others. So it's not just Canton, everybody. That's just the first one that's dropped from the DTCC. Evernorth XRP, we've entered a strategic collaboration with DopplerFi to advance institutional liquidity and treasury use cases on the XRP ledger. Together, we're exploring structured frameworks for deploying XRP at scale. What up, Marvin Davis? Good to see you, buddy. Evernorth and Doppler collaborating. Providing practical frameworks for deploying institutional XRP liquidity. Guys, when they said liquidity back in the day, that's it. That's what it's all about, liquidity. With the goal of setting a higher standard for how XRP is used, managed, and scaled across global markets. And that's one thing I am worried about, and I mentioned it before about these permission dexes. It's going to fragment liquidity. So that's why I like that COREUM token. Smart tokens. They can be used across different permission dexes instead of splitting up the order books on different dexes, you know. And from Stellar Rippler, massive Trump claims legacy banking is finished. He says many Americans are unaware that behind the scenes, the financial system is out of date. He also hints at a new digital liquidity framework coming. Ripple's banking charter and Clarity Act equals institutional green light, says Stellar Rippler. If that proves true, XRP doesn't disrupt at the edges. It becomes the settlement backbone. There we go. I'm not sure, this is probably older, but worth a revisit, of course.
Many Americans are unaware that behind the scenes, the technical backbone of the financial system is decades out of date, many, many years out of date. You know that. Paul and others are straightening it out, but payments and money transfers are costly and take days or even weeks to clear. Under this bill, the entire ancient system will be eligible for a 21st century upgrade using the state-of-the-art crypto technology. Who would have thought we would have been saying that 2 years after?
There you go. He's letting the world know right there we're going to crypto. and so many are sleeping on it. It is insane how you don't look at this stuff and say, my God, everything's going to change. You know, it's all changing. And the banks can't survive, guys. You know, this stuff is going to make them all the level playing field. You're going to have some that can't survive. And you're going to have a lot that get into this stuff. We did have the Basel III requirements kick in, which allows banks to actually buy this stuff now as a Group 2, Tier 2, Group 2. Decentralized cryptocurrencies can be purchased at you got to have a 1,250% collateral backing, capital backing. So, you know, you can't just go buy crypto. You have to have the banks have to have underlying capital at 1,250% collateral to cover that in case anything happens. Each stage of the group for these banks, it's like a fallback. So you've got tier 1, and if tier 1 gets liquidated, you got tier 2, and there's all kinds of steps in this Basel requirements that's going on. So yeah, they can. And then we had the OCC say that yes, they can come out and they can purchase crypto for gas. So they're at least going to have to do that to run on these public rails. They're at least going to have to go out and get some gas money. Just like us, they're going to have to go get some gas money. All right, cool. We've got Ripple also posting the future of regulated digital assets payments in the UK has arrived. Ripple has officially secured approval from both the EMI license and crypto asset regulation from the UK's FCA. Their FCA is a combination of both of our commodities and SEC. They put it all under one, which it should be. But let's see if there's a good explanation. I don't know if there's any music behind this or not, though.
The UK's reputation for financial integrity and innovation makes it an ideal market for responsible digital asset adoption. And today, I'm proud to announce a major regulatory milestone. Ripple has secured its electronic money institution license and crypto asset registration from the UK's Financial Conduct Authority.
In case the copyright, maybe that'll help at all.
This is a major step forward for regulated digital assets here in the United Kingdom. And crucially, this license enables us to bring our flagship offerings, including Ripple payments, directly to UK institutions.
For institutions. Don't worry about the small people. We're talking institutions. Let them deal with this, with the citizens, right?
The UK is already one of Ripple's largest office hubs outside the US. A clear reflection of our continuous investment.
They say it starts in London, so we shall see. Okay, let's keep it going. For anybody who hasn't seen the Money Flower, Guns and XRP posted this, and this is a common PDF here that's going around with the different types of money and where does cryptocurrency sit in that right quick. First, you've got peer-to-peer money. That's like cash, and we see cash is this corner here. Central bank issued money. You've got digital money, and you've got widely accessible money. Widely accessible is like commodities and currencies, fiat currencies, bank deposits. And it's wild how they all line up. So cash is a central bank issued, but it is not in the digital frame. You see how it's not in the blue, it's outside the blue. But basically what I'm trying to get to here is cryptocurrency permissionless. That means decentralized, permissionless, DLT. It's sitting right here. And what that does, it's very unique. The only one it doesn't fall under is central bank issued, which is the benefit. It's the whole attraction to us, right? So it does fall under peer-to-peer. It does fall under digital. It does fall under widely acceptable. And they can't stand that. We heard Lagarde talk about the backing. They can't lose their backing. So we'll see once the world realizes that there's sovereign money out there that doesn't depend on governments. You tell me something better than that. CoinDesk says, Wall Street broker Bernstein says, a tokenization supercycle could drive crypto's next major leg higher in 2026, reiterating its $150,000 Bitcoin price target as a real-world assets move on-chain. Yep, we were just talking about tokenization and what it's going to do. How much is that going to benefit these crypto rails, these decentralized crypto rails, issued tokenization issued, or a token, whatever? How much value is that going to bring to these rails? Well, I mean, the first thing I think of is the shovels during the gold mine, during the gold rush. They say a lot of people that made the money were the ones that sold the shovels and had the services. And, that's the infrastructure. That's what this is. That's how valuable it is to me. That's just me, though. Also, we have Crypto Investment Clarity Act timeline from Eleanor Terrett. She was talking to a close friend regarding her thoughts, and she personally thinks the Clarity Act will get to Trump's desk. As she stated, it's slated to pass out of Senate Banking Committee this week and then get merged with the Senate Agriculture Committee's proportion once that text clears. From there, it heads to the floor for a full Senate vote. And then it goes back to the House for final passage. They both have to agree, guys. The House already passed, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they already passed a clarity bill. And the Senate's, of course, they don't like it, and they're going to write their own and send that one back to the House for ultimate passage, and then ultimately to the President Trump's desk. She believes it will get to Trump's desk to be signed into law by March at the earliest. I hope so. I was thinking about going down to St. Pete and watch that Indy race down there. I'd like for that to have a little bit of spending money to do that with. We'll see how that goes. That'd be the first race of the year, first IndyCar race of the year down there in St. Pete. I'd like to get some pit passes for that. I was looking at that yesterday. We got Marco saying that Hedera shipped a Python software development kit for its AI agent kit. Hedera released a Python kit, meaning Python devs can now build LLM-powered agents that actually execute actions on Hedera. This is actually pretty big here. What is the Hedera Agent Kit? It's an open source framework to build AI apps that interact with Hedera, conversational agents that understand intent, backend agents that perform on-chain ops programmatically. Why Python is a big deal? Python is where ML, data automation, notebooks, and back-end tooling live. This unlocks research, prototype, deploy pipelines without leaving Python. Core capability is, this is the meat. Both SDKs expose enterprise-grade Hedera actions via plugins, including the token creation management, topics and messages, and EVM contract execution, scheduling, approvals, allowances, accounting ops. Under the hood, it's nerdy but clean. The SDK uses Hero Python and ships as Hedera Agent Kit. All right, so basically Python agents now on Hedera that can interact with Hedera. That is pretty big. Just moving along, guys, burning all this out quick. Massive RLUSD, this was from CoinVo, is now officially recognized as an accepted fiat currency in Abu Dhabi. Stable coins around the world, propping up the treasury markets. That's how it works, guys. That's how we're going to save the dollar. Stablecoins propping up Treasury. We had a glitch on XRP, guys. In case you missed it from SG and on, during the trading hours on January 6th, cryptocurrency token XRP briefly displayed a price point of $9,866 US per coin. Look at it. Here you go. Unless it's been audited, who knows? But I have seen the glitches, guys, for those who haven't. It is mighty peculiar. You've got these glitches that happen to XRP. And I haven't seen many other coins that glitch like that. This does look like pretty bad quality. And everything's bad quality. But there you go, XRP USD. 9,886. We'll take that, guys. We can go to the race for sure on that. Let's go. 9K says Lizard King. Let's go, guys. All right. That sounds good to me. Let's stay bullish. As always, I am going to jam it out on the way out, guys. Let's see here. We've got my full screen here. All right. Cool. Thank you guys for tuning in to the chat today. Come on now, let's go. Let's go, crypto. All right. Lots of good news coming out. We're going to mark up crypto this week. Can't wait to see that, guys. Can't wait to see what happens. And if we get those stablecoin rewards, that's going to mean everything. That's going to mean they've given up. The banking lobby has given up. That is the true fight with the banking lobby. Who'd have in the chat today? IBD Cartel, Lizard King, Marvin Davis. What's up, Marvin? We also had Conflict, Angus Scrim. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Thank you guys for tuning in. Mr. Conectr out. See you on the next one, guys.